Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining СивиЛНеթ. We're at the Armenian Center for Contemporary Art at Norair Chahinian's exhibition called The Power of Emptiness. Thank you, Norair, for having us here. And this is an amazing exhibition with a great title. And I have so many questions. First of all, this is apparently a journey, a quest. We'd like to hear from the beginning until the end. What took you on this journey?
Yes, this photos was taken in a 4 years journey, but I can say that it's all my life journey going on because I born in Sao Paulo, Brazil. As the most of the diaspora, we grow up listening the history of our ancestors. So I was very close of my grandfather from my father's side. He was from Marash. And he always told me that it was really hard to escape and how they escaped it from Marash. And I promised to him that I will go back to Marash and to talk with the people about what happened in that lands 100 years ago. So I decided to go to Turkey the first time at 2012. And it was a journey with final destination not decided. So I was creating the route on the route. I was finding traces and going into them. And every day, every time, every meeting, the route was changing, and was what I was
So
expecting.
how many places did you eventually manage to see? And another question that I have, that if initially when you set out on this journey, did you already have a photo project in mind? Was it more of a personal project?
It was more a personal project. Of course, I am architect by degree and I work with photography, so I decided to use the photography as a tool to documentate. So the idea of the documentation already exists since I left for the first time. But during the 4 years, the idea of a book and an exhibition was coming out with the discovered things. It comes out.
I see that a lot of it is very emotional. I mean, you can simply see it through the photo. But I also wanted to ask you, are there like remarkable moments that you remember that are like very dear to you right now?
Yeah, photography takes time. So I was lucky that I have that time to wait, to find, to have the patience for the best light, for the best moment. I was not running or rushing to reach the goal. So this make the work better and easier. At total, I visit the most important cities of our history. I drove by myself more than 12,000 kilometers. I like the loneliness. I think photography also demands to be alone and to meet people, but always be alone. And was like this.
And the title, how did you come up with this title? It's like very telling at the same time. It's very mysterious.
Yeah, but the title appears suddenly, like every title, I think. After 2 years traveling, I said, come on. Every place that I visit is empty. Every place that I visit, there is no one. Where is these people? Where is these people that in other times pray in this church? So, and I felt a lot of power in that space. Yes, it is empty, but there is a lot of power in that stones, in that soil, in that people that I met during the trips. So I think Power of Emptiness is the short and best definition of the work, because yes, this is empty, but there is very strong power inside every place and every photo. Not only the space, but the landscapes and the people also talks a lot to me. And I always say that the second name of the book is Talking with Stones in Historical Armenia, because I was always alone and I was talking with these stones, and these stones was able to talk with me, to share their pains and what they saw during these 100 years. So I was always talking with them, with the walls and of course with the people.
Sometimes, and I wonder that our generation is lucky because we get to make this journey back. And sometimes we come back with something, sometimes we don't. But have you ever wondered, for example, now you had promised your grandfather to be back, you were curious, but now that you made this journey, do you ever wonder that you've already put a full stop for, let's say, your children or the next generation?
I think the journey ended in a kind of way, but this journey is an endless journey. I think our generation will be the generation that will start to talk and to share with the Turkish people and the Kurdish people who now live in that lands and try to find the resolution for this issue. So I think this journey, yes, will continue for the next generations because it belongs to our culture, our history, our Armenianity. So it makes parts of our life. And
maybe somewhat an obvious question. Do you have a favorite photograph?
It's a simple but difficult question. Yes, there is some photos that talks to me a lot. It's hard to elect one, but I like too much the black and white photos. The black and white photos are special to me because I took them with my grandfather's camera. So every time that I decide to walk with only that camera, it was like a switch in the process and the methodology. So I have film, so I should shoot less than when we were shooting with digital.
So your grandfather was a well-known photographer in Aleppo before your family moved to Brazil.
Yeah, right.
And you were a third-generation photographer because your father took up.
Yes, yes. Also, my father, he's also architect and worked with photography. So the photography was always present in our life since my childhood. We grew up surrounded by photos, histories, albums, and negatives, and so.
So this is the part where you photographed with your grandfather's camera, and you chose to do this segment in black and white.
Yeah. Because this is the, where photography born. The black and white is the foundation of the photography. This is my grandfather, so they escape with this paper. This is also an important paper that we kept in our family. My grandfather is this little child. So he was 7 years when he escaped from Marash with this passport. And so everything started from this little small piece of paper. Here's some papers of his studio, and there's some works of him also there. In a kind of way, the decision to shoot with his camera is the decision to bring his eyes through his grandson's eyes to the homeland and the hometown.
And I see that there's like Hagop Oshagan, Ashak Chobanyan, Zare Vehapar. He has been a famous portraitist.
Yes, yes. His main work was like a portraitist, and every important Armenian that passed by Halep during the 30s, 40s, 50s, he was always running to shoot them in his studio or whatever. So he also did many important documentation for the Syrian government. So during 20 years, he was like one of the official photographers of the Syrian government. So now, yeah, these photos, it's important now because as everybody knows, Syria is under destruction. This photo is maybe one of the important ones to me. So in 2014, as we know, Kesap was invaded by the rebels, and the Kesap people escaped to Latakia. But 25 grandfathers and grandmothers, they decide to remain. They ask to the rebels, kill us here, we don't want to go out.
We will not leave
yeah.
the houses.
But then they decide to put them in a truck and throw them in the border with Turkey. By chance, we have the last Armenian village in Turkey, Vakif village. So Vakif village Armenians took them to their house and kept them for 50 days, 60 days. When I listened to this history, I said, there is something calling me. And it was Hagop Giragosyan. He was a photographer in Kesap during the 50s, 60s. And he traveled by frequency to Halep to buy material to work, and he did this commerce in my grandfather's store. So they were friends. Yes, and when we understood this, it was a really important meeting to me because I said, okay, now I understand what was calling me.
And he's giving you a key.
He's handing a key because he said, son, I locked the door of my house and everything that I have, it's my key. I didn't take nothing from my house because I'm sure that I will go back to my house. And at the end he was right because he returned to his hometown Kesab, and unfortunately he dies there 2 months ago.
2 months ago. And Norair, there's a video projection. It looks it looks amazing. Could you tell us more about this?
As a documental project, I decide to capture in every media that I have in my hand. So I record audio, video, interviews. So here I decide to do like a short teaser of the videos and mix with some takes that my grandfather took in Armenia in '62. So I keep them original as colored, and I swap mine to black and white. So it's a 5 minutes that my idea was show how was my vision. No, because I was always on the road and entering in different space and having a kind of surreal meeting. So it's interesting video, yeah. But now I'm working to do something long and better, more informative, let's say like that, with the interviews and the material that I collect.
And you had this exhibition in Diyarbakir, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it's one thing having such an exhibition in Armenia, but to have it in Turkey,
Yeah.
How did that come about?
As the book, I decided to start this exhibition where everything had started. So Turkey was clear in my mind that it will be the 0 point to show this work. We was presenting in the 24 April during the centenary commemorations, let's say like that. And then after come an invitation from a photo festival in Diyarbakir, the Kranagert. It was in October. And then finally Armenia, it's like coming to Armenia, from Istanbul to Armenia. So I'm really happy to show it here. Yeah.
That's an unconventional way of reaching Armenia, or probably more conventional than we thought.
Yeah. I know that the 0 point it was Turkey, but then like by magnetism the work comes to Armenia, I think, and it's nice. So this.
Thank you, Norair, so much. This has been very beautiful, and learning your story and about your journey. Thank you so much, and hope to see you back in Armenia pretty soon.
Yes, we have plans to come, to move, to live here. It's a question of time. We will be here. Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you.
So much.